stupid, but it works. It ain't very stupid. So, well, hey friends and neighbors, this is Chuck out at Sheraton Park Farms. Welcome back to the farm. So, it's been over 2 weeks since we done a video. And I'm recording this, the intro to the video, after I've recorded most of the footage for the video. And the way I intended for this video to go is not how it ended up going at all. Apparently I'm pretty mad. I got some rants. So stick around for a little bit, hear what all I've got to rant about, and hang around to the end, and I'll tell you where I've been and why we've not done a video in a couple of weeks, and kind of where the channel's going and where the farm's going, and some general updates. So hang out with me for a little bit. All right, y'all been asking about it, and we alluded to it a little bit the other day. I don't think we showed any, but we have some brand new, and we've not talked about these guys much at all, but we've got some brand new baby bunnies, baby rabbits. And I think we've got, what is it, JW, 33, 34?
33.
33.
Yeah.
Look at that guy. So, a little bit about the rabbits. And like I said, we've not talked much about the rabbits. These are some meat rabbits that we bought. Actually, we bought them from Polyface. We bought 2 bucks, 2 males, and 4 does. Look at that face. Man, that's a face anybody could love. Isn't that cute? Still don't know whether they're male or female, do we? We don't know rabbit parts. But we bought 2 bucks and 4 does from Polyface. There's a buck in here, 2 does, a buck in this one, and then 2 does. And all of the does have had babies. So, like I say, we've got about 33 right now. Now, these are meat rabbits, and that's how we're going to sell them. We're going to sell them as meat rabbits. There are some rules around processing rabbits. They're supposed to be processed at a USDA inspected facility. So we're not going to be able to process these animals and then sell them direct to the customer. But what we can do, if somebody wants, they can come up and they can buy a live animal. They can buy a live rabbit from us. Then they own that animal. And then we're glad to process it for them if they'd like for us to. Or they can take it home, process it themselves, take it home, keep it as a pet, use it as a breeding animal, whatever they want to do. But we're not going to be able to process and sell packaged rabbit meat on the retail market. So if any of our regular customers are watching this, and you guys would like to have a pet bunny, give us a call. We can sell you a live rabbit, and then, you know, if you guys decide you want to eat that thing, we'd be glad to help you out with the processing. There's one of the mamas. Isn't she pretty? Big old girl. I'll show you one of the bucks. Which one of these bucks? This is the brown one. Yeah, he's pretty. He's going to probably hide in the shadows. There's one of our bucks. Good looking boy. And so the baby bunnies, JW's going to build us some hairpins based on a design from Salton. Think you can build them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Based on a design from Salton. And we're going to put the baby bunnies out on grass here in a couple weeks. And again, if you're interested in having a baby bunny for a pet or anything like that, give us a shout and we can help you out. All right, I want to do a little miniature rant. Everybody seems to enjoy those when Chuck gets a little torqued up. This is our cattle working facility, and this is a very, very temporary facility. I had a individual come on to one of the videos, I think it was the cattle loading video that we done, and told me that I was going to get somebody hurt or killed. He had been ranching for 40 years. This was stupid. People like me should have no business having cattle if we can't do it right, etc., etc., etc. Well, let me tell y'all, we have now loaded, we've sorted, and then loaded, subsequently loaded 5 cows to go to the butcher on this system, based on this man's design. So, don't be dissing my boy, but he came up with this, and it works beautifully, don't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it serves our purpose. Now, could we handle 50, 75, or 100 cattle in this?
No.
Ain't no way. But for the 15 that we've got left, the 20 we started with, and the 15 that we've got left, I mean, this has worked out great. You know, we've brought, in the last group, we done the same thing. We brought them in here. Somebody was on vacation. I didn't even have help with it. Sandra and Jamie from over 7 Stands helped me. We ran them in here, put them down in the bottom, cut out the 3 that we wanted to take. Everybody else, we brought them up and they came out to shoot here. They went out the pasture, down to the lower side, down there where those chicken tractors are. I don't know if you can see it or not. And we kept the 3 in here that we wanted to take to the butcher. They stayed overnight. The next morning, we brought the trailer in, backed it up. I didn't video it because y'all have seen it before. We'll do it again. I'll show you again. Backed the trailer up, loaded those 3 boys up like it was nothing. Boom, away the processor we went. So, just because, I think here's a point, and keep this in mind. If you're getting started farming, or if you're farming right now, and you're not doing it like Joel Salton, or you're not doing it like Greg Judy or Justin Rose, fill in the blank. You're doing it a different way, and it works. It works. I think there's an old saying, I think I heard somebody say it's in the Army, if it's stupid but it works, it ain't very stupid. So don't worry about matching up to do things the way the book says, or the way somebody says that you have to, or the way somebody else does it. Find a way that works for you and make it happen. Get out there and get after it and make the deal work. Those cows, I ain't kidding you, they walked right down here. We had a lane set up. They came out, went down that lower pasture like it was nothing. So that's my rant. So on these chickens, it's moving day. Since we put all the ones out of the Salton tractor in here, we have a lot of pressure on this area. I moved these guys onto this area about 4 days ago, and they've already muddied in a few places. Now, we've had a lot of rain. I figured it up last night. We've had about 7 inches of rain in the past 3 weeks. We've had a ton of rain. But I only used 3 sections of netting. We're gonna go back to 4. I think that'll give them a little more space. And then maybe what we can do is we can move the whole area using 4 sections, and then move the egg mobile within that to get a few more days. Because it's not that they wear the grass out particularly. The problem is we get such a manure load underneath that egg mobile. And that's where we end up getting bare spots, and it gets real hot, and we get grass that's not coming back, and then we run into problems with pigweed and Jimson weed and some of that kind of stuff that's trying to repair the soil. So we're going to move these guys, 4 sections of netting, and then we may come back in a few days and move the egg mobile inside of the netting again. But let's get to throwing some netting up, and we'll get these guys moved. So here's how we set up for an egg mobile move. So right here is where we have a junction, 2 pieces of fence. And what we've done is we've came just adjacent to that junction with those 2 pieces of fence, and we've built our new paddock. Now what we're going to do is, like JW's done over here, we take one side of the fence down, goes over there. I'm going to take this side of the new fence down, and it's going to come back here somewhere. Doesn't really matter where, just got to have a good enough size opening. Now we're going to take this one down. Got it tied up here. I'm going to open this side up if I can get all my knots out. Hang on, who tied that? I think that was me. Okay, and we'll take the fence. I'm going to open it back up. Now you see, I'm just draping it back across the one that I had opened up. This little panel right here, the one that I'd opened up, I draped it across that. And now this side, we're going to do the same type of thing. Just going to come back with it. Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. Now, those chickens can just walk right out of the old paddock up into this new one right here, and they're always contained because the fence is still up. And you can see some of them are already meandering their way over. Now we'll go around the back side, take the coyote. Oh, the sun's right in the camera. We'll go to the back side, open it up, take that coyote, and we'll pull over here. We'll close this egg mobile up. We'll pull it across, A lot of the chickens will follow. If they don't, we can leave the netting up for a little while. They'll eventually go back to the egg mobile because that's home. They'll see it over there. Pull their water up, close it, and boom, we're done. That's a chicken move. So egg chickens, well, this year, we were looking the other night. So far this year, eggs are our #7 grossing product that we sell on this farm. And that's behind whole cow, whole pig, ground beef, bratwurst, and I think chicken breast. Maybe there's something else in there. But yeah, we're doing pretty good on eggs this year. And we've upped our cost, we've upped our price. Costs have definitely gone up. But we've upped our price on eggs this year. I think we're at $8 a dozen. Maybe it's $7. And we're also doing some half dozen this year. We put $5 on half dozen eggs, y'all. If you're doing eggs and you're selling them for $3 a dozen, you're not covering your costs. Cover your costs. You are growing a product that cannot be found in a grocery store. You're getting, you're free, you know, if you're doing chickens like this, they're out on grass, they're getting fresh air, sunshine, you know, all that free range, organic label mess, that stuff don't mean anything. It's ridiculous. Tell people your story. Tell them how you raise your chickens. Take some pictures, put them on your phone, go to the farmer's market, and when people say, are these eggs free range, say, let me show you how my chickens live. And show them how your chickens live. It's a better product than what you can get. You're putting in time, sweat, money, effort. Get paid for your work. Get paid for your work. So we're doing them at $5 a dozen, $5 half dozen, $8 a dozen, and we sell out every single week. Every week. And we're going through five times, we're going through 35, 40 dozen a week. So you do the math. Get paid for your work. Look at how happy these chickens are. Look at them. Happy chickens make tasty eggs. That's how the deal works. So here's the meat chickens. Just want to give a quick update on what's happening with these guys. These are our Freedom Ranger color yield, and they have got about 12 more days to go, and we're going to process them. And they just have been moved, but I mean, the ground out here is so saturated and wet that you know, we're still getting a little mud. They do fine in it at this age. Little chicks, we certainly wouldn't want to put them in much mud or anything like that, but they're doing good. Some of you have asked, I think we've told you, we were feeding some hog feed to these broiler chickens. We started feeding this, it's a flock finisher mix. We buy it from our feed supplier. The hog feed was doing okay. We felt like they probably weren't getting as big as fast as we wanted them to, and so we were having to feed them an extra week to 2 weeks. And even though we were saving money, when you're having to feed an extra couple weeks, you really don't save money. And you know, that's something. Get this door shut back. You know, that's something you need to think about when you're raising these animals. I heard Dr. Gordon Hazard say, if y'all don't know who Gordon Hazard is, look him up on YouTube. He was a cattleman from down in Mississippi, veterinarian, recently passed away. Super sharp guy. He said, and this applies to all species, he said you can't starve a cow into a profit. That's true on chickens, cows, pigs, whatever you're feeding. If you're feeding these animals out as feeders for processing, they need to have, you need to feed them. Make sure they got plenty to eat. So these are our Freedom Ranger color yield. Everybody here's doing really good. This next batch, I got 3 different batches out here. This next batch, these are our Murray McMurray, excuse me, Murray McMurray big red broilers. And we got a couple in here that are not broilers. That little guy right there, I don't know what he is. Not a broiler chicken. Pretty little fella. These guys are doing good. We bought 60 of these. We're splitting these. We're going to do 20. Jamie over at 7 Stands is doing 20, and then JW is doing 20. These are our personal chickens for personal consumption over the winter time. We had helped our friend Robert, who had bought some of these, grew them out, helped him process. He gave us one as payment for helping him, and we cooked it. It was fabulous. So we bought a batch of them. They're kind of heavy feathered. The skin's a little tougher on them, but man, flavor, gosh almighty, these are some of the best tasting chickens that I've ever had. So big red broilers, personal consumption, everybody here is doing good. And then finally, the third batch over here, these are our Cornish cross. There's about, I think I got about 290 some left of these out of 300 that we bought. Had a few die in the brooder. That's gonna happen. Last batch of poultry on the farm, except for the Thanksgiving turkeys, of course. Last batch of poultry on the farm for the year. Our goal, again, outside of Thanksgiving turkeys, is to be done with chickens by the 1st of October. After the 1st of October, it starts getting kind of cool. Start running into, you know, cold weather. They just don't do very well in cold weather. We found these chickens do the best when it's hot. And man, that's holding up. Look at those guys. They look fantastic. I think they're 3 weeks old, maybe 4 weeks old. 3 weeks old. Coming on strong, looking good. They do really well on this flock finisher. But these are our Cornish. And we've had better luck with Cornish this year than we did with the Freedom Ranger color yield, which is just the opposite of what we were having when we were on the farm down in Greensboro. So, something I want to talk about real quick. I'm going to rant just a little bit here. Again, I'm not a fussy person, y'all. I swear I'm not. On chickens, if you're going to process chickens for retail sale, get equipment and do them right. I've seen some crazy stuff going on out there, folks, with what people are doing on processing birds. The way they were being processed, I think a big portion of the meat was being discarded because they weren't scalding and plucking. And if you're going to raise these animals and you're going to put the time and the effort into it, and you're going to raise them for food, honor these animals as much as you can, and use as much of these animals as you can when it comes processing time. Spend a little money and buy you some good processing equipment. It's, you know, yeah, it's a little expensive, but in the grand scheme of it, you do 3 or 4 batches, you're going to pay for it. And then after that, everything's going to be profit. But, you know, we use everything on these birds. The offal, the feathers, heads, and intestines are all composted, which turns into fertilizer and usable garden dirt for us. We sell the hearts, the livers, the gizzards. We got a lot of folks that like chicken liver just for personal consumption, and a lot of the other folks that like hearts and gizzards for animal food. And then we sell everything else: legs, thighs, wings, breasts. So use all of these animals. They are sacrificing. They're going to sacrifice their life to feed you, your family, or your customers. Don't disrespect them by not using the whole thing. Whenever all you need to do is just spend a little bit of money and buy you some processing equipment, and just do it right. I mean, that's just all there is to it. Do it right, like everything else. So while we're out here visiting everybody, just wanted to bring y'all up, show you our pigs. This is our sow group, and we just moved them off of this area over here onto the new area. JW and Jonathan Newman. We've got a new gentleman doing a little part-time work for us. These guys set up a new paddock yesterday. They're over here in some fresh, brand new woods, and looks like they're already digging into some old dead pine trees and stumps and rooting around and doing all that kind of thing. But this is primarily our sow group, and we've put all of our females together now that we have on the farm. We only have one male left. He's down in the barn. That's Jake. He's a Berkshire boar. We've got him up for sale. If anybody's looking for a good Berkshire boar, reach out to me and we can hook you up on him. The reason that we've moved along all of the males is, and I think I talked about this on another video. I've had some folks ask about it, but I'll explain it again. We've had a lot of hit and miss production with our male pigs, and hit the rewind button back a year and a half ago, when we were doing exclusively AI. We had really good results. I mean, every time we would do an AI, except maybe one, we had really good results. And when we do AI, I know if I do AI on that pig today, I know that she should be bred. And if she comes back into heat in 21 days, then I know that, you know, we need to do it again. What we were finding with a boar was, and part of this is, part of it's management. I'll freely admit part of it was management, and we could have done a better job. I would see a boar riding that sow today. Okay, she's bred. In 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days, we should have piglets. Well, 2 months later, I would see him riding her again. And so we had missed, multiple opportunities there for breeding. So we've got girls in here that went, 9, 10, almost 11 months without any piglets, without being bred. And financially, that is not a sustainable model. These pigs, these female pigs, if they're here and we're feeding them, they've got to be giving us something in return, i.e. litters of piglets. So that's kind of where we're at with that. And we're also getting a little short on the number of feeder pigs that we need to be able to keep up with our markets next year. So I've got 2 of these girls that are scheduled to come into heat. I think it's next week. We're going to be ordering some supplies. We'll do a video on that, showing our AI process again. It's been a while since we've done that. And we'll show you all that. But here's where we're at on piglets. I've got about 8 right now that are, we're going to keep all of these. We've sold some piglets this fall, or late this summer. They've already moved along, but we're going to keep everything that we've got right now. Look at this little guy, cute as a button. And these are all good looking piglets. I mean, these are some chunky, healthy looking babies. We've got a number of males, a number of females in there. We're going to cut the males and keep the females, and we'll probably keep all of them for feeder pigs, because we're going to breed everybody here. A couple of these girls, real quick, a couple of these girls are going to go away. She's going to go away. She aborted. She's had multiple opportunities and has never been bred. This girl here, very scant litter. I think she only weaned 1 off. No. She's only weaned 4. And then I had another one here that only weaned 1. Now she weaned 3. That one only weaned 1. So they're going to go away. They're non-productive. So we'll probably end up taking them to the processor. So that's the deal on the pigs. Look at this area though. JW and Newman built them a beautiful little paddock here. Gets a little steep over on this side, but it's kind of narrow, but it's real long. Goes way back up into the woods here, so we're going to let them kind of clean some of this up and get to work on it. No rant on the pigs. I don't have anything to fuss about on pigs. Okay, like I said at the beginning of the video, this has turned into a little bit more of a rant on a couple different things than I had really expected for it to. Really just kind of wanted to do an update on some of the animals and what was happening here on the farm. And you get out there and you get to looking at stuff and thinking about things, and comments and ideas and suggestions and things that you see kind of come to mind. And with this kind of platform, you have an opportunity to address them. So that's all that is. I'm not a fussy person. I'm not a mad person. Just a couple things been going on that have caught my attention and spoke about them. But anyway, yeah, like I said earlier on, it's been a little over 2 weeks since we've done a video. A couple things been going on. First, I was gone for the bigger part of a week, a couple weeks ago, for a work thing, and did not do a good job of stacking content and having some videos ready to go. And then came back, and then the past week here around the farm, it's been busy, nothing really outstanding going on, sort of mundane actually with all the work happening, but we've been concentrating on some things here on the farm. And I'm not saying this in any kind of bragging way or anything like that, but this month is going to turn out to be probably our largest retail sales month that we've ever had. We've had sales have just been through the roof this month. We've sold a couple of whole cows. We've sold a couple of whole pigs. We've had some premium cuts things back in stock. And so the markets have been really, really good to us. Had a bulk order on some chicken. We had a customer that bought 20 whole birds, and really appreciate their patronage. They've bought half pig, half cow, and now a big bunch of chicken off of us. So we've got some really good loyal customers, and we certainly appreciate that. We've got a new part-time person working here on the farm. His name's Jonathan. You'll see him probably in some videos coming up. He's a fireman and good friend of JW's, and was looking for a little part-time work. He's been here a couple days, and he's performed fantastically. He's a go-getter, hard worker. So I say all that, the farm, the business itself has really kept us hopping for the past couple of weeks, and that's sort of where we've been. I'm not stopping YouTube. I'm not quitting YouTube. We're going to try to get back on a regular schedule of doing regular content, putting some videos out a couple a week. But we appreciate y'all's patience. Quite frankly, I've also had a little bit of a, some would call it writer's block if you were an author. I've had a little bit of a content block and just not feeling like I had anything worthy to share and put out with y'all. And my goal has always been to be, educational, entertaining in some ways. And it's, if I'm not feeling it, I don't want to just put something out just to put something out. And I've heard, folks in this content creator space say, just put it out anyway. You don't need to decide what your viewers, what your fans, what your subscribers, what your watchers, you don't need to be the one to decide for them what's good and what's bad. You just need to put something out and then let them decide. So maybe that's good advice. Maybe it's not. Again, I've just not felt really good about having anything worthy to say. And in some ways, believe it or not, in some ways it's kind of hard on the psyche. It's a little bit, I won't use the word depressing because, there's a lot of folks out there that suffer with serious depression, and that's not at all what this is. But it's a little frustrating and somewhat demoralizing to me to not have, something that I feel worthy to put out to folks. So I know folks typically like rant videos, and so that's what this ended up being. So maybe I've cleared the logjam on ideas for content, and we can put some more stuff out. Got another video. I'm gonna work on that later today on one of our farmers markets. This is one that we've never showed y'all. We'll shoot some footage up there and show you that market and what it's all about. Completely different, totally different than any one of the other markets that we do. We really enjoyed it. It's in a college town, and the students, first day of class I think was yesterday, but the students at the college have just come back this week, so it'll be real interesting to see what today is going to be like. And also it's in an area where folks really do appreciate locally raised, know your food, know your farmer, raising stuff, out on pasture, out here like we do. So excited to go to market this afternoon. I'm taking off from work this afternoon to go be with Sandra and help her with that. But anyway, yeah, I think that's going to do it. Like we always say, please keep us in your prayers. We always need them. And may God bless you and your families. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks.